Alright all, and welcome back to a new video. The Cheltenham hangover has finally evaporated, and unfortunately it's probably been a fairly sad week in a lot of respects for the horse racing world over the last week. We obviously went from English racing being in front of crowds, then they tried a day without crowds, and eventually ended up with the whole thing being canned for the next month or two, which is awfully disappointing, I suppose. You know, obviously the Grand National Festival has gone by the wayside. The Sandown end of season, the Ayr, the Scottish Grand National, the Lincoln meeting even at Doncaster for you flat fans. But at the moment, Irish racing is getting the go-ahead to go on behind closed doors, which is good, I suppose, for the industry. I don't know whether it's the right decision or not. Maybe only time will tell. But I'm still plugging away, and because I'm off college with all of Irish people, schools, colleges, most people working from home, I've quite a bit of time on my hands. And therefore I put it to my followers on Twitter last night whether you'd want kind of short previews of each day's racing or kind of long, more weekend previews. And the general consensus was more to go for short previews of a day-by-day basis. So from now until, I suppose, the foreseeable future, I'll be looking to do a day-by-day preview of all the racing. So what I'm going to do is go through the races quite quickly, give a selection for each on these videos, and then if you want to follow me on Twitter or Instagram, where I'll be putting up on the day, I suppose, advised point stakes, and yeah, so we can actually track how well or how badly I do. Starting off with Dundalk tomorrow, and I'll put a feeler out there for you. Dundalk flat racing is not really my cup of tea, but it's not many people's cups of tea, but it's going to be one of the biggest grossing betting events for quite a while, I suspect, because everyone will want a bit of it tomorrow. It's been moved to the afternoon rather than the evening, which is a fair enough thing to do. And I'm quickly going to run you through the 8 race card and give you a selection for each race. Starting off with the half one, which is a apprentice handicap for horses rated from 45 to 65 over a mile. And I thought it might be worth a chance here on a horse called Reverberation. He's here off a mark of 49, which seems lenient enough. He won over this course and distance back in October 2018. Now that is quite a long time ago, but that was off a mark of 61. But even more recently, he came third over course and distance off a mark of 52. He then went over to Newcastle. Newcastle can be a funny track and can often provide some funny results on the all-weather, I find, anyway, from my knowledge of it. He's been dropped now to a mark of 49. He's here 13 to 2, 7 to 1 sort of price. It's not a bad each-way price. And I think he's got a decent enough chance in here if he can, I suppose, get his form back to what it's like around Dundalk. Dundalk seemingly is his favourite track. The big danger, I suspect, is the market leader Kinch, who won last time out at Dundalk. But before that, he was a bit of a nearly horse, and the couple of pounds he's been rise would temper my enthusiasm with him. The 2 o'clock, which is the auction race, probably the best race on the card, I would say, over a mile. And I've plumped here for Donegal O'Brien's Flower Garland, who at the moment is currently second in the market at 7 to 4. He won last time out over course and distance by 6 lengths. I believe that was Donegal O'Brien's first winner. And this seems to be a very progressive filly. She's getting £4 off her main market rival, and I think she should go very well. The 2:30 shouldn't, I won't waste much people's time. Yufton should win this race. He's rated 92. Tony the Gent, I think, is rated 76, I think. And the rest of them are rated kind of 60 or less, and they're all running off practically levels. Yufton and Tony the Gent have a bit of a penalty, but not enough. He should win this. He's 8 to 15 though. No, a blind man could tell you that. To 3 o'clock, a mile, 2.5 furlong maiden. Again, I'm going to be quite boring, I suppose, in my selection here, with Juliet Rose being the selection. She's currently 10 to 11. She was second last time out over course and distance to China Storm. I backed China Storm that day, and I thought we were a very fortuitous winner. She was very game, got back up right on the bob. Juliet Rose was very unlucky not to get the job done that day, and surely compensation may await here. The 3:30 is the same course and distance, the mile, 2.5 furlongs. It's a handicap for horses rated 45 to 65, and I think there's a bit of each way value in a horse called Global Pass, running here for Richard John O'Brien. He's 9 to 1. He's running off a mark of 51. It's fairly basement level. But he was second off a mark of 65 back in 2018. Similar enough to Reverberation. You have to go back a fair bit to see that bit of form. Last time out, he was 7th over a mile 4. He travelled into the race really quite nicely. I watched the race back today. Travelled into it quite nicely, just didn't seem to get home. The drop in trip surely will suit, and I think he has a decent chance. I don't think he's worth being 9 to 1. I see him more as being a 6-7 to 1 chance. The 4 o'clock is a mile 4 handicap, and I've decided to have a go here on Gugain Barra for Mick Halford at 8 to 1, running off a mark of 70. Some decent enough form this year. Second to John S over a mile, 2.5. Come the new year, only beaten a length and a half, and last time out was 5th behind Sheberghan, but was only beaten a length in 5th. It was one of those complete bunch finishes, very unlucky. You know, usually when you're beating a length, you're coming 2nd or 3rd at least. Came 5th. I think there's a race to be won with this Gugain Barra. I'm not sure whether tomorrow is the one or not, but I'm going to take that chance, and hopefully 8 to 1 isn't a bad each way price. The 4:30 is the first of 2 6 furlong handicaps, and I've decided to go for last time out winner Poet's Pride, trained by David Marnan. He's 5 to 1 here. He's been risen £4 for winning last time out over 7 furlongs, up to a mark of 68 now. Looked to be tying up ever so slightly at the end of 7 furlongs. Was a winner over 5 furlongs when trained by David Barron over in England. Seems to be quite a keen going sort, so I'd take a chance. The 6 furlongs won't be any sort of obstacle whatsoever, and hopefully can run very well. And to finish off the 5 o'clock 6 furlong handicap, I've again gone for one at an each way price of 8 to 1 in the shape of Lady Alcazar. At the moment is 8 to 1 with Coral. 2 quiet runs over 7 furlongs to start off the career, but last time out was a length and a half behind a horse called Mecklenburg of Mick Halford. Went 4th over this course and distance, dropping back to 6 furlongs. Put up an RPR of 64, running here of 63. I don't know how to correlate those RPRs. Sometimes they're bang on, sometimes they're not. But I'd give this one a chance, Lady Alcazar, again at an each way price. The one thing I would say at a track like Dundalk, try to find a bit of value in a couple of races. I know not anyone's going to agree with all those selections I've put up. I wouldn't expect anyone to, but try and find a decent bit of value here and there. It's a track which favourites do win, but not all the time, from my knowledge anyway. As I say, I'll be looking forward to tomorrow's video when we're covering Thurles on Saturday, more than me trailing through these 45 to 65 handicaps. But that's the situation we're in. If you guys did enjoy this video, please do give it a like and subscribe to the channel down below, and let me know what you think, whether you're going to be having a flutter at Dundalk tomorrow, and if so, who do you fancy? And until tomorrow, when I'll be covering the Thurles action for Saturday, I hope you land a few at Dundalk, and I'll see you then. Cheers.